On July 26, 1990, President George H.W. Bush signed the Americans with Disability Act. This became a major milestone for many people with disabilities throughout the United States, but there was still much more work to be done. Ramps were not built overnight, opinions were not changed in an instant, and some jobs still remained unavailable for those with disabilities who needed them. However, with assistive technology devices, this is all starting to change. At the beginning of September, the Wethersfield High School Ability One Network Design Challenge team began working to create an assistive technology device to help a person with a disability in the workplace.
We began our project by contacting multiple organizations such as the Easter Seals, the Wethersfield Association for Citizens with Disabilities, and CW Resources. We were quickly surprised by the response we received, which showed us how many people with disabilities have difficulty in the workplace. We chose Tim Fournier, a mobility consultant for Advanced Wheels, not just because his struggles seemed pretty common, but because by aiding him, we would also be aiding many other people with disabilities get to their places of employment. You see, Advanced Wheels is a company that modifies vans to be used by people with disabilities. Many of his clients depend on these vans to get to and from work every day independently. In our interviews with Tim to learn more about his disability, his job, and how his disability affects his job, we learned that he often has trouble accessing file cabinets.
Down here, I can't even open the drawer to get it out, which would be too low for me.
As you can see, many people who use wheelchairs or have trouble bending over have limited access to the bottom file cabinets. This becomes difficult for them to work independently and efficiently in the workplace. Helping Tim was important to us because he's involved in so many community programs that strive to help people with disabilities.
During their interview with Tim, the team learned that Tim is a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. He also happens to be one of the 3.4 million veterans in the United States living with a service-related disability.
My name is Tim Fournier. I'm a C6-7 quadriplegic. The injury happened due to a fall in the military off of a truck. I hit my chin. Once I fell down, when your foot falls asleep, it feels like a million little needles. That was my whole body.
Once they had all the information they needed, the team began looking at multiple design possibilities to help Tim. All members contributed their ideas on a whiteboard, and the pros and cons were discussed for each. At the end, the best design to fit Tim's abilities and needs was selected. CAD models and initial prototypes were created, but not without considering safety first.
In all aspects of our product, safety was our number one concern. Not only the safety of our very own team members, but the safety of whoever was going to inevitably use our product. To ensure the safety of all our members, we established a safety captain and had safety briefings before every meeting. In fact, the engineering mentors watched us as we used power tools and made sure we were wearing safety glasses at all times. In designing our file up, torque was very critical. We had to calculate the amount of weight needed to counteract the torque applied by the cabinet fully extended. In applying torque, it was critical for us to consider the bases of fulcrum and calculate the amount of counterweight required in order to keep the cabinet, the file up, from flipping over. With a proper counterweight, the file up will stay firmly on the ground. Another safety concern we had was that the bottom cabinet had a tendency to fall back down, so we have a locking mechanism that locks it fully extended up until it's released.
After speaking with Tim, we decided to switch the orientation of the files to left to right for better accessibility. We also found the optimum height of 36 inches for the bottom cabinet so that it remains accessible to Tim. FileUp was designed with universal design principles in mind, and that it's accessible for people with a wide range of disabilities. The 4-bar linkage mechanism uses springs to lift the bottom drawer. It is specifically designed to raise documents and other papers, but can lift other heavy objects up to 60 pounds. The FileUp also includes a second top drawer. Not only is this accessible for those with disabilities, but also those who don't.
The ability for me to reach lower files independently without having to ask somebody due to the dexterity of my fingers where I'm not able to reach and pick and grab things from a lower level. With the design of the outer handles to be able to get my hands and wrists inside Again, I don't have to ask anybody, I don't have to wait for anybody, so I can complete my work in a timely fashion. It's an incredible piece, and I hope that other people can enjoy these things just as much as I do.
Finally, the file-up was given to Tim for testing. After leaving the file-up with him, he reported back to the team with some aspects of the design that needed to be adjusted. The biggest design aspect that Tim needed changed was the handle type. After being adjusted, the file-up was given back to Tim and he continues to use it. Tim was just one person, but the file-up has the ability to be used by millions of people who have a wide range of disabilities.
On behalf of this entire country, I now lift my pen to sign this Americans with Disability Act and say, let the shameful wall of exclusion finally come tumbling down. God bless you all.